I'm Soldier Boy. Did you know drugs and drug-related crime have become a nationwide problem?
How many of you are ready to help me stock old Adolf on the job?
These people would rather die than be Soviet slaves.
And end this war once and for all, and bring our boys home.
If taking drugs is uncool, I'm the most uncool motherfucker on the planet.
The Boys TV show was one of the greatest gifts that nobody asked for. Nobody knew they needed to see a dark comedy version of the Justice League or Avengers that also does a really good job injecting real-world issues into it. Unlike the Marvel and DC films, The Boys' superheroes are very unapologetic in their delivery, raunchy situations, and gory scenes.
Where's the cum guzzler?
It's the perfect contrast to the oversaturated slop we've been getting from the superhero movie genre. And I believe it's what makes the audience like these characters so much. Not only because of how well written the characters are and the show is, but also because of how realistic the characters act. The characters in The Boys is exactly what heroes would be like if they were in the real world. And that's what brings me to Soldier Boy in Captain America. Soldier Boy is the exact opposite of Captain America. And I believe he's exactly what Captain America would be like in real life. And in today's video, we will be going over everything that makes them similar and different. This includes things like their powers, personalities, movesets, backgrounds, and even their outfits. I do want to make the disclaimer that for this video, I'm going to be going based off of the movies. So that means the MCU and the Boys TV show. I will not be counting anything from the comics. And with that said, let's hop right into the video. Starting with their strength, powers, and abilities. Captain America has superhuman strength, durability, agility, endurance, and super speed due to the super soldier serum created by Dr. Abraham Erskine, who first appears in Captain America's first movie, The First Avenger. He works on the Project Rebirth program to develop the serum, and he chooses Steve Rogers for the experiment due to his strong moral character and bravery. The serum makes him capable of crazy feats like holding a helicopter in place, enhanced reflexes, and of course he also has his iconic, nearly indestructible vibranium shield that he can use with insane accuracy and skill.
The power to make real change, and that terrifies you.
I wouldn't call it a comfort.
Stop.
Soldier Boy also has superhuman strength, durability. He's resistant to physical harm and ages much slower than a normal human. It's safe to assume that Soldier Boy has all the physical capabilities of Captain America, including super speed, although we've never really seen him run at his full speed like we have Captain America. He also has a devastating energy blast that can nullify other suits' powers. Soldier Boy is also very immune to holothane. The show's explanation for Soldier Boy's immunity to holothane is tied to his enhanced and highly resistant immune system. This resistance could be a result of the same experiments that granted him his superhuman abilities, or it could be due to the Russians' experiments on him. The show doesn't clarify whether Soldier Boy is immune to all gases though. However, based on that, it's reasonable to assume that he might have a high resistance to other chemical agents and gases. For example, a highly concentrated or specifically engineered gas could potentially affect him if it targets a different physiological weakness. Let's talk about their backgrounds. Captain America was born in Brooklyn, New York. Originally just a sneaky, weak, frail young man who becomes a hero after volunteering for the super soldier program during World War II. He was a good man with honest intentions, wanting to serve his country. He often committed acts of selflessness and genuine care for others and what he believed in. Before becoming Captain America, he was known as Steve Rogers. Before becoming Soldier Boy, his real name was Benjamin. The TV show doesn't go into Soldier Boy's original backstory, so all we have to go from is what Vought has stated. After becoming one of the most powerful beings in the world, Vought used Soldier Boy for American propaganda films.
These boys here, they're the real heroes.
In Vaught's narrative, he was portrayed as a poor boy who grew up in the streets, embodying American values of perseverance and courage, which suddenly led to his leadership in the US military overseas. It's unlikely that he actually fought in the war, as Vaught would not have risked losing one of their greatest assets, although Soulja Boy claims he went overseas and participated in battles, which is pretty questionable. I'm sure he participated in some, maybe some easier missions, but this is also pretty vague.
I stormed Normandy. I fought the Nazis. You want to know what I do when I'm sad or scared? Fucking nothing. Because I'm not a fucking pussy.
You didn't storm shit. Your whole Marlboro Man act, it's fucking crap. And oh.
I warned you.
Next is their training. Captain America started with basic military training. He was a weak kid but worked hard and thought smarter over working harder. Once he becomes a super soldier, it just enhanced all of the skills he already had. After becoming Captain America, he undergoes additional combat and tactical experience after he participates in numerous missions across Europe as part of the Strategic Scientific Reserve, otherwise known as the SSR. This refined his combat skills and taught him how to effectively use his enhanced abilities in various battle scenarios, including leading the Howling Commandos against Hydra forces. At first, he was just being used as a marketing tool for America to encourage men to join the army and fight for their country. So a lot like Soulja Boy, he was used for propaganda, but he becomes eager and eventually goes to save an entire platoon of captured allies from a Hydra base. But this is when he begins to really become Captain America and do what the serum was given to him for. And now modern day Cap trains with S.H.I.E.L.D. and refines his skills even more. He adapts to modern technology and tactics and spends his time training at the Avengers compound. It's not only his physical prowess but also his strategic mind, leadership, and dedication to do what's right that pushes him to be strong.
Put that hammer down.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Are we done here?
Soulja Boy's training is not extensively detailed, but there are several key aspects and implications that give us a glimpse into his development. So much like Captain America, he gets most of his experience through real life experience in the field. He likely underwent training and conditioning at Vought to harness and control his new powers after taking Compound V. During World War II, Soulja Boy served as part of the US military, which indicates he would have trained at military bases and camps. He also led a team named Payback, which was the team that he led before they were named the Seven. In flashback from Noir's memories, based on these memories, it's also indicated that he trained with them, participating in team exercises that provided combat experience and hones his skills even more. It can really be assumed that they trained together based on their scenery during these flashbacks with Noir that are just fantastic, by the way. I absolutely love these parts of the show with these animations because they are just so good, along with the voice acting. The animation is just flawless. I wouldn't mind an entire animated boys TV show if it's just like this. It is hard to say who's stronger though, because both of them got most of their strength from a bottle. But being that Soulja Boy is durable enough to go up against Homelander, which is almost like fighting Superman, I think it's safe to say that Soulja Boy has a good chance at winning. Although Captain America's skills and experience is more advanced, he's fought literal aliens from space, fought in World War II, and could also hold Thor's hammer. But being able to wield Thor's hammer is not based on strength. He's fought extremely powerful foes like Iron Man, Ultron, Thanos, and multiple Avengers at the same time. This will be an extremely difficult battle for the both of them, most likely ending with Captain America winning because of his experience fighting in these battles. It's also not a guarantee that Soulja Boy's energy blast would get the job done on Captain America, being that other supes like Maeve were able to survive it and come out with just really bad scars. And when it comes to their shields, Captain America's is made out of vibranium, when Soulja Boy's is most likely just a normal metal shield. Soulja Boy's shield is a little bit more lethal though, because it has a pointy edge. If Captain America used his shield against Soulja Boy, I doubt it would have much effect on him. This would probably have to be a straight up hand-to-hand fight, because it's not like Soulja Boy's shield is like Captain America's. He's not throwing it around, it's not bouncing off surfaces. Its main priority is to bash people's skulls in and block bullets. And Soulja Boy's lack of experience experience will count against him, being that a lot of the battles he's fought were fake, and mostly against normal human beings. None of the other supes at the time even had a chance at fighting against him, as we saw with Noir. Soldier Boy and Captain America were also both stuck. We'll just put it that way. In 1945, after defeating Red Skull on his ship, Steve realizes that the plane is headed towards a major city in the United States that could possibly cause catastrophic destruction because it had mad bombs in there. Captain America decides the only way to stop the Valkyrie from reaching its target is to crash it into the Arctic Ocean. He finds that the plane's autopilot is jammed and that there isn't enough time to safely land without risking millions of lives. When he crashes, it becomes submerged under the ice, but because of the super soldier serum, it allowed him to survive the crash and remain frozen in a state of suspended animation for nearly 70 years. Captain America's frozen body is eventually discovered by S.H.I.E.L.D. in the present day. He is then thawed out and revived, seemingly without aging because the super serum can just do everything. But he then rejoins the modern world and continues his superhero journey. In 1984, Soldier Boy and his team, Payback, were involved in a secret mission in Nicaragua during the Cold War. During the mission, the team was attacked by Russian forces, and unknown to Soldier Boy, this was an ambush, part of a larger plan orchestrated by Stan Edgar to replace him with Homelander. During the battle, Payback betrayed Soldier Boy, helping the Russians capture him. Soldier Boy was overpowered and captured. The Russians took Soldier Boy as a prisoner and conducted brutal experiments on him for years. He went through various forms of torture, including exposing him to high doses of radiation and testing different methods to control him and try to weaponize his powers. Soldier Boy remained captured for approximately 38 years. During that time, he was experimented on by the Russians until Butcher, Huey, and the team discovered his location and freed him as part of their plan to use him against Homelander. Now let's talk about their symbolism.
Fab Five Freddy told me everybody's fly. DJ's spinning, I said my. Flash is fast, Flash is cool. Francois Sapah, Flash ain't no dude.
Captain America is the physical representation of America, its military, and its ideals and values. He deeply believes in freedom, justice, and doing what is right, even if it means going against the government. Captain America is the embodiment of patriotism in America and what America stands for. Soldier Boy also represents America and its military, but is more of a caricature or imitation of what America is supposed to stand for. Soldier Boy actually believes he represents America's patriotism. He's convinced himself that he symbolizes America's strength, but his actions often reveal a more cynical and self-serving nature.
Might want to lay off the weed, huh?
And you might want to gargle my ball sack.
Their personalities are also quite different. Steve is honorable, selfless, and compassionate. He also has a strong moral code and sense of justice, and he's willing to sacrifice for the greater good. He's also very strategic, he's a skilled leader, and he's also very tactical. He often relies on his wits to outsmart his opponents. Soldier Boy is self-centered, arrogant, and often crude. He lacks the moral integrity of Captain America, focusing more on personal glory. He's very based and doesn't give a piss about what anybody else thinks.
Are you a superhero?
Yes, Father. You folks need some help?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, it's not safe. There's a fugitive in the area. You should get out of here before you get hurt.
Well, we can't. I don't suppose either of you know engines?
I'll have a look.
Oh, I'd appreciate that very much. Treat over there and Dan.
He's cunning and experienced in combat, but lacks the strategic depth and moral compass of Captain America. Now on to their outfits. Captain America's outfits evolved through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, reflecting his character's growth and changing times. Starting with his World War II suit, this suit had a classic, almost utilitarian look, appropriate for its World War II setting. Initially, he uses a triangular shield, which is later replaced by his iconic round vibranium shield. In his Avengers movie suit, it's more streamlined and modern, reflecting the transition from a World War II soldier to a modern superhero. Then there's his stealth suit from the Winter Soldier movie. This suit is designed for stealth missions featuring a darker, more tactical look. The material is more armored, with padded sections for additional protection. The suit is predominantly navy blue with minimal white accents and a silver star on the chest. The iconic red is completely absent, which helps give a more subdued, stealthy appearance, and is designed for combat rather than style. And finally, his in-game suit. This suit combines elements from previous versions, incorporating both the modern and classic aesthetics. Soldier Boy's suit is designed to reflect his status as a patriotic symbol and his era as a superhero from the 1940s. It combines elements of military attire with classic superhero aesthetics. Soldier Boy's suit has a distinctly rugged military-inspired look with elements that give it a vintage yet powerful appearance. The material appears to be a combination of heavy fabric and leather, designed to evoke the feel of a combat uniform with a superhero twist. The suit primarily features dark green with lighter green accents. This color scheme is less flashy than Captain America's, emphasizing a more serious soldier-like appearance while still evoking a sense of patriotism. The chest is adorned with a star emblem, which is stylized with an eagle, symbolizing American patriotism. The helmet is designed to resemble a World War II combat helmet, adding to the vintage military theme. Soldier Boy's suit is very carefully designed and includes various straps, buckles, and military insignia, further enhancing the idea that he is both a soldier and a superhero. The overall design is meant to evoke a sense of patriotism, strength, and history, tying him to his past and America's first superhero. Captain America's outfits reflect his journey from a World War II soldier to a modern superhero, which each version balances functionality, protection, and the red, white, and blue color scheme. And finally, their teams and allies. They were both leaders of their own groups. Captain America led the Avengers, while Soldier Boy led the Payback team. The Avengers all worked together in order to stop world-ending and even universe-ending threats. 90% of the time, Captain America had no problems with the Avengers, but he has had beef with his other teammates, especially Tony Stark, but not on the level to where they'd want to kill each other, which is the exact opposite for Soldier Boy. Captain America eventually defeats Iron Man, and at the end of Civil War, he sends Tony a letter apologizing for keeping the truth about Tony's parents from him and expressing regret over their conflict. He also leaves Tony a flip phone, offering to be there if Tony ever needed him, signaling that despite their differences, Steve still considers Tony a friend. He then broke his team members out of the raft. Captain America and his faction of Avengers went underground, continuing their work as superheroes independently. Tony Stark remained with the Avengers, but the team was significantly weakened, and he was left to pick up the pieces. The Avengers' fractured state left the Earth vulnerable when Thanos and his forces began their invasion to collect the Infinity Stones. Soldier Boy, on the other hand, was the leader of the Payback superhero team, and his relationship with his teammates were often strained and contentious. Soldier Boy was a tyrannical and abusive leader. His arrogance, ego, and violent tendencies made him difficult to work with. He often belittled and mistreated his teammates, which led to resentment building up within the group. And because he was so much of a douchebag, Vought had a vested interest in replacing Soldier Boy with a new hero who better fit their image of a marketable and controllable figure. Eventually, this would be Homelander. These two characters may share a superficial resemblance, both being products of their respective eras and designed to symbolize America's strength, but their differences run deep. Soldier Boy represents a more cynical, flawed vision of a superhero, one whose patriotism is entangled with personal arrogance and skewed sense of morality. Captain America, on the other hand, stands as an idealized version of what a hero should be: selfless, honorable, and unwavering in his moral convictions. This contrast highlights the diversity of superhero narratives in popular culture, but also how these characters reflect the times and contexts they were created in. While Captain America embodies the virtues of a classic Golden Age hero, Soldier Boy offers a darker, more realistic portrayal of what unchecked power can lead to. So I would like to thank y'all for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if I missed anything, let me know, and if you didn't enjoy the video, leave me a dislike. But either way, let me know in the comments who you guys think would win, and I will see you on the next video. Also, let me know what comparisons you guys want to see. Peace.
Leave me alone!